Okay, I'm going to show you how to insert figure numbers and images and equations into a Google Docs. So I've written some text and I want to refer to an image. And so my first image, I'm going to call it figure number 1. So my figure number 1, I'm going to bring over from Desmos. So here in Desmos, I have a graph and I want to show a picture of it in my Google document. So I need to use the snipping tool. That's how I do my screen captures, is with the snipping tool. So to get the snipping tool, you can just hit the little search icon and type in snip, and it should come up with a snipping tool. And then you can ask to make a new snip. So click new, and it'll make your screen look like this, and you'll have a little cursor, and then you can select exactly what it is that you want to copy and put into your document. So now I'm going to go back to Google Documents and I'm going to paste. So Control V, pasting that in. I can now resize it. So if I hold down Shift, it'll make sure that it keeps it, it doesn't squish it anyway. So I can make it as large or as small as I want. One thing, don't worry about taking up a lot of space. You can use up to 20 pages for your IA. So if you want to, make sure you're showing your good detail, that people can read your graphs clearly. So go ahead and keep them big. You do not need to make them all small and make this all fit into a certain number of pages. The HLIA is recommended it be between 12 and 20 pages. So make your graphs big enough for people to see them. All right, you're not limited by the number of pages. Okay, what if I want to move this around? Notice if I'm trying to drag it, it's not going anywhere. So that's what these icons down here are for. So to find those icons, click on the image. These icons jump up. These are my text wrapping. Click the one on the middle, and now I can move this wherever I want. If I do happen to run into the type, notice it breaks the type. Okay, so there's my text wrapping, so I can put it exactly where I want it. Now, if I want to put that figure number 1 on it, figure number 1, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to insert a drawing. So insert menu drawing, select new, and I'm going to write figure number 1, but I need to make a text box. Here's the text box tool, figure number 1. I don't like that typeface, so I can change that right here, right now, and maybe make it a little smaller. Then once I'm done formatting it, save it, and here it shows up. Now, if I try and move it, notice it might not move exactly where I want it. So again, the text wrap option right here, the middle one, gives you more, you can put it anywhere. You could even put it on top of the picture. Okay, so that middle option for text wrapping. But what you should be doing though is putting it in a consistent location. So if you are labeling them underneath and center, that's pretty typical, or underneath and to the left. Be consistent. I think it's pretty much centered, and on the bottom is the normal place to put it. You can look at the sample IAs that I put in Canvas. I now have 3 sample IAs for you to look at in Canvas. You can see how they did it. Okay, so last thing I wanted to show you is how about inserting MathType. To insert MathType, you're going to use add-ons. There's 2 types of MathType. This first one, I haven't really used it, but feel free to try it out. Insert, edit math, see what happens there. I'm not familiar with this one. Let's see what happens when I try and load it. Okay. So, all right. So anyway, you could read that. I'm more familiar with MathType, so I'm going to use MathType. And here it comes. So you have all your different things that you might need to use. Here's the calculus ones. Okay, so you would just type in whatever it is you need. So y equals, I'm just going to write some random stuff. And you can put in multiple lines of type. Whatever. Okay, and then tell it to insert it. Okay, there it is. If that's too small, you would think that maybe some detail is lacking there. You can enlarge it by just dragging the corner. Okay, or if it's too big, you can make it smaller. Do remember though that somebody is going to be reading your IA digitally online. So you want to set it up so that it looks good on the screen. Okay, so use a decent size. Like I said before, you're not limited with the number of pages you have. Okay, what if I don't like where that is and I want to move it? I want to move it over here. It won't let me. Okay, text wrap. Choose the middle option, and now I can move it wherever I want. And if I happen to go over type, notice it pushes the type out of the way. Okay, one thing I do want you to notice if you look at the samples that were given in Canvas is when they do show equations and they do show mathematical working, they don't embed it in the middle of the type. They separate it from the explanations. Okay, so I would recommend that you do the same. We want the mathematics to pop. After all, this is a paper about mathematics. So when you are showing your formulas and your equations, you do want to make them stand out. Okay. Another thing I was thinking that it might be nice is if you want to like point to something and refer to something again, you can, just like we did with the figure number, you can use the drawing tool and you could perhaps insert, oh, look, a call out, okay, or an arrow. So you can use these drawing tools to add some more details, like if you wanted to point to something in the equations that you have here. You can use those drawing tools and the text boxes to help you put text and images that you can then drag around, like we just did this one. You can then drag it around anywhere. Okay, so I hope that helps, and good luck.